Welcome to part 2 of my Haz-7 true solo refinery. So this is Haz-7 solo refinery, no Bosco. And if you saw part 1 of all of my fails, I said in that video, I'm not even sure this is even possible. Well, today I've proven myself wrong. I've literally just done it and I'm just putting this commentary over. And I'm absolutely wired. Oh, this was absolutely brutal. I think a big thing that has given me a chance on this one, I've gone over to Inferno instead of high voltage crossover on the breach cutter, and that has made a huge difference to, as soon as I tried it the first time with Inferno, I sat there and thought, is this actually Haz-7? Have I actually just loaded Haz-5? It just made life so much easier. I get a nice, really easy start to this Haz-7 one, which makes a nice change to the true solo refinery. If you saw my fails one, you will see that just the starts can be absolute nightmare and just end your run. I get for Haz-7, quite a sedate, easy start to this one until it ramps up later on. And I'm just getting my turret set up, taking it nice and easy. Obviously, I want to have a quick check for cave leeches and if there's any grabbers around. If you watch part 1, you can see how quickly these runs can just turn into a failed run. So I'm just taking it nice and easy. Refinery has landed right nearby, so this seed so far is just looking really nice. Again, just keeping an eye out for those leeches. A leech and this could just be one of my lives gone and pretty much just a run over.
So we're sending in a refinery for you to fill. Set the whole thing up, get it cranking, and
I hear the spitballer, so I could hear it was behind me, so I just did a little sidestep. Obviously wanted to get the turret set up as quickly as possible. Needle sight breeder is close by, so if I can take those down. I'm not going to put it up now. I was going to have a part 2 before this one with some other maps where I got closer but didn't, where I got some 2 pipelines built, and on one of them I was trying to build one of the pipes and just constantly getting the needle sight hatchlings or whatever they're called attacking me, and it just adds so much time and going back to resupply to get up to health. So taking down an early breeder is so handy. So here I've obviously got my turret set up. I'm just desperately trying to get the 50 nitra so I can get a resupply in. I really want to try and get a resupply in before the first wave, just so if I need to resupply in that wave or if I go down, I've can iron will. And then obviously this dust storm completely slows me down of trying to get this other nitra. So I know it's going to be any second the wave is going to be coming in, and I don't have enough nitra for a resupply at the moment. Trying to use my terrain scanner, just it might pop up and say nitra, and I can head towards it. So now I'm just charging off. I'm obviously worried about cave leeches, but I know I've got to get this nitra. If I don't get this nitra, I'm going to be having issues if I run out of ammo in this wave. So again, I'm trying to get this nitra, but also each time I go, I've got to make sure that there isn't a cave leech. So one of the things that was really good about this seed is it's so wide and open. This just leaves me so much room to just kite around, and I think this is one of the good things which has really helped me on this run. On some of my other fails, I've done quite well, and then all of a sudden it's just, one of the pipes is in like a tight, twisted area, a swarm comes in at the wrong time, and it's just all over. I finally got enough nitra to get my resupply in, so I felt a little bit more comfortable at this point. But I could see that it was, they'd all, sort of caught up to me at the refinery, so I sort of just ran off. I know that this area down here is free of cave leeches, so this was a good place that I could retreat to and kite, even if I'm far away from my sentry turrets. Obviously, if I run off in a different direction, it's so easy, just you're running backwards, you're trying to fire, and then all of a sudden you don't realise you've gone to an area where there's a cave leech. And on Haz-7, the stationary enemies, there can just be loads of them everywhere. I've done some maps where it's just, it feels like cave leech, whatever the hazard is, and yeah, because there's just so many stationary enemies. So yeah, my ammo, I didn't realise I'd run out of sentry gun ammo, smart rifle ammo. So yeah, this is the handy thing of having it such a wide open space. I can run off and leave them, you know, all to one side and get a resupply. So as soon as, you know, I realised this, I thought, right, I'm going to try and get a load more nitro in and try and spread out some of these resupplies around this this map, and then, you know, in theory, even if if I'm low on ammo or if I'm low on health, I could probably retreat to one side of the map, resupply, and then that would keep me going. So that was my intention at this point, of just obviously, you know, get my sentry turrets, so this is going to be my defensive position, and then get some nitro so I can get a resupply down here, and then hopefully some other resupplies dotted around as well. It's a difficult one because obviously the longer that I take trying to get resupplies down, the more waves that come in, and on Haz-7, especially with just one life of Iron Will, any wave that comes in, you make one little mistake, it's all over. And again, on some of those videos, which I'm not going to put up now, where I managed to get, there was 2 runs where I managed to get 2 pipes built and connected, and I was just trying to get the 3rd one before going down. Those runs, everything felt like it was going pretty well, and then all of a sudden it was just, you know, one of them, one little mistake. I think it was one bad plasma grenade, and then I was down. So that's my Iron Will, and then literally like 10 seconds later I just got tagged by a slasher, didn't have dash, and that was it, game over. And another one, I stood still for 1 second to fire my platform gun, so that I could then sort of jump across a gap whilst in the middle of a swarm, and then boom, that was end of the run. So obviously the longer you take, every wave that comes in on Haz-7 is going to be a potential wave that, you know, that's it, game over.
Let's show them some pain.
So just trying to get my nitro so that I can get a resupply over where I've got the sentry guns. So then I've got 2 points. I can obviously, if a wave comes, I'll be defending by those sentry guns. This was a heart in mouth moment there. So how big this cave is, how big this map is, I think it was, in some ways it was good and in some ways it was bad, because obviously I've got those menaces on the ceiling, which I can't actually, the scanning range is obviously 50 meters with the smart rifle, and they were obviously further than 50 meters away, so I couldn't get the lock-ons on them. So obviously that's bad, but in a way, with it being so big, I think there are points where there's like so many webbers walking along the ceiling that presumably, you know, it's taken them so long to try and walk towards me, it gives me time to pick them off as they walk in, as opposed to just, you know, if it was a more claustrophobic map, they could just be on me. So this is where I'm just trying to get a little bit more of a defensive position here, so that it's going to make this a little bit easier. And going over to Inferno on the breach gutter with stun, even though high voltage crossover has got the electrocution, stunning the menace is really handy and just makes it so much easier to then finish them off. So I heard the wave announcement, I thought, no, I'm not messing around with this Praetorian, I'm resupplying, I want to be on full ammo before a wave comes in. So this is now my 2nd wave, but I've got my 2 resupplies down. I've turned this into a little bit of a defensive position, so I was feeling pretty good. Well, you never feel good on the Haz-7 true solo, but I was feeling as prepared as possible.
Clipping one down. Weapon ready.
So this wave didn't feel too bad, you know, and I wonder if how much of it is because this is such a wide area. On some of those runs where I failed, it feels really bad because, you know, you've got such a tight area and then it all spawns close by and you just get overrun. But also I think going over to Inferno too many times, you know, I call it threat overwhelm, where basically you just get too many threats keep on coming in and you don't have the DPS to bring them all down, so then it just starts getting more and more and more. And I think going over to Inferno, I know that I can just one shot, and basically if it's any grunts, guards, slashers, as long as it goes through, they're basically all dead. Whereas with high voltage crossover, I then needed to potentially go back and pull out the smart rifle to then finish off the guards, which are in that, you know, in that wave. So I think the Inferno really made life a lot easier. I don't know if it's just because this map was so big, but you could see the graphics seem to go weird. I think it's before a dust storm comes in that it seemed like I had like 10 seconds notice each time of like, oh, okay, a dust storm is going to be coming. This was pretty scary with the trawler, the dust storm, the low health, shields down.
Not ready. There's the watching.
Oh god, this was this was touch and go. I was just firing my breach cutter anywhere.
Getting supplies.
I said on my previous one where I failed that I was not going to do the dust biome because of the trawlers, but when I loaded into this one, the only cave complexity free map was this one, so I just went for it. Yeah, I had an idea that I was going to get rid of this arch to make it just a complete open area, but after a few hits I just sat there and went, oh, it's going to take me far too long to try and dig all of that out. And I think it actually probably helped me for kiting anyway, to kite round that arch. So this is what I'm saying about how big this cave is. I think it has actually helped me with the amount of these webbers and acid spitters. They just seem to sort of get stuck on the walls, and it would take them so long to get to me. And you know, like here, I can't even target that one. He's so far away. So just trying to slam through these pipes.
It'll be easy, they said.
Yeah, and again, these trawlers are absolute nightmare. With just one life, you hear a trawler and it's proper like panic scared. You know, like you're gonna try and take them down as quick as possible.
Party hard.
One pipeline completed. Pump jack connected to refinery.
So I decided, you know, I've got one pipe done. I'll try and get a little bit more nitro. As I said, I knew it was going to be really handy to get a few different resupplies around. Grabbers also super scary. If you saw part 1, you know, that run where it was going quite well, literally the grabber gets me for half a second, Trijaw kills me, that's it, end of the run. So obviously, again, like with the size of this this map, that bulk detonator on the ceiling, you know, I've got enough time to see it and think, oh, I've got, you know, a while that I can prep, I can resupply. So I was just trying to think, where do I want this resupply? So I've now got like 3 in a line here, 1 at the refinery, 1 by the defensive position, 1 in sort of middle ground. Obviously the double menaces picking up, so I knew I needed to get those down as quickly as possible. Again, from part 1, that map where it was like 3 or 4 menaces constantly taking me down, I needed to get rid of some of those threats when I could. But again, sort of the pros and cons of this map, you know, of them spawning quite far away, it can make it quite hard to actually hit them. And there, 3 shots in the magazine was so much handier there to take down all of that wave, whereas with high voltage crossover, obviously I would have only had 2 shots. So that's 1 of the menaces down. Haz-7 has really improved my use of dash. Like, I could have easily dashed there, but I kept it because I knew I might need it later. I really didn't want the bulk detonator to die there. again from my fails in part 1, thinking I do not want to kill the bulk detonator where my defensive position is, and improving my point of dash because I need it now. So I think a big thing with Haz-7 is one, you're kiting. So obviously it's just constant moving, constant trying to circle around so that you're not going to get bogged down, you're not going to get tapped by a slasher. But also it's priority targeting. So obviously like the menace is a pretty high priority that I need to deal with. But whilst kiting and with how big this cave is, it's going to be quite hard for them to hit me. So it's kind of like, obviously if they're close by, but anything like a tri-jaw or a goo bomber, that needs to go down, you know, pretty quick, because those will just take me down.
I was born ready. That wall.
So I can see my ammo was absolutely going down here. And no breach cutter ammo is a bad place to be with on Haz-7. So need to get a resupply. So again, having these resupplies spread out just makes life a little bit easier. So I remembered there were still the acid spitters and webbers on that wall from where I ran past. Acid spitter can, even with the engineer taking less damage from poison, which acid counts as poison, acid spitters are brutal. You do not want to get hit by one of them. So the bulk detonator I wasn't too worried about, because I didn't want him to die over there, but the sentry guns killed it anyway. So again, because I'm going to a new area of the map, I know I haven't walked over to this side, being really cautious with the cave leeches. Also, I was a little bit worried because of how high the ceiling was. I wasn't convinced that even with the scanning, because obviously it's only 50-meter range, that it would actually detect the cave leech. So I was really trying to make sure that as I walked, I sort of kept looking up every now and then, just in case I could see the cave leech coming down at me.
Hump jack requested and is inbound.
So again, I think there's some webbers on the wall up there, but they don't seem to be doing much. I think they were just on top of that ceiling.
Let's get the pump jack connected and pumping.
This did feel like with this map, this did feel like one of the easier runs that I've done on this, but I'm taking it. I'm taking it nonetheless.
Then we can start the extraction sequence.
Pipe segment up.
These oil wells were in quite nice position as well.
Platform. Reloading. One down, more to go. Need a pump jack here.
Request accepted. Stand clear. Hump jack inbound. Bad news, team. A swarm of McTerrors have caught your scent.
So this one, this is obviously a special wave. This isn't a normal wave. This is one of those unique waves, and it's the McTerror. When this came up, I wasn't too sure, because obviously in tri-jaws, that can just be game over. So with the McTerror, I was like, right, I'm going to be super careful. It could, grab. It's probably going to be grabbers. It's going to be tri-jaws. So I just went straight to my defensive position. Because sometimes, like a swarmer wave is actually probably a benefit to me with plasma trail on the breach cutter, and but McTerror, I wasn't too sure. Again, sort of priority targets. Obviously, these are all priority targets, but the grabber was number 1. Sort of goo bomber probably number 2 that I've got to take down.
Jaw-dropping.
Again, the benefit of this being a larger cave, I can see these Macteria spawning and I can take them down at range. If this was in sort of a tighter corner, they obviously could have spawned like just round a twisty tunnel, but then just round one corner and then they're straight on me. So I definitely had this map seed on my side.
Take out the rest of them, stat.
Weapon ready.
This was a little bit of a risky resupply because obviously one try draw that could have been a life lost.
Try drop down. Platforms flying.
So I really wanted I wanted one more resupply sort of over on this side. So that was my next priority of if I got a resupply over here, I then had them sort of spread out in different areas. And also I figured, you know, I dared to imagine that I might even get the refinery started on this one. So I thought I may well need to be coming over here to repair this this pipeline. So having a resupply over here would be amazingly handy.
Ready to use.
Again, just keeping a little eye out for leeches. So I was going into this part thinking I really wanted to, you know, make sure I've got iron will left for when I start the refinery. And often from failed attempts, either true solo, well, not on true solo, but with Bosco, actually just trying to call in the drop pod once you've won is really difficult. So in my mind, I thought I may well need the iron will just to call in the drop pod. So I really didn't want to lose a silly life to a cave leech at this point. So I can hear this wave, or it's a war. I'm not sure if it's just a warden wave or a mini wave, but I thought let's just get the resupply in. I'm obviously pretty far away from the sentry turrets in the defensive position, the grabber as well. So this was just I knew the sentry guns was over here, so I was just like, I'm just going to retreat over to this way. Fail with the animation cancelling on the breach cutter. And again, just the size of this map, the openness of it, really helping me with all of this. Yeah, so here you can see the graphics. I'm not sure if it's just my computer doesn't like it, but obviously there's a dust storm coming in. I think I realised at this point, because that was quite a dramatic shift. I realised. Should have probably snuck a little resupply in there. Yeah, I could hear the trawler, and I just fired the breach cutter off in random directions, and obviously managed to hit it. So it's just like pure luck, but I'll take it.
Ready to kill some more crates. Yeah, give me some sugar.
So this is a wave of swarmers, and like I say, this one, I actually sat there and was like, oh, this is actually probably a little bit of respite, and again, another slice of luck which goes my way on this run, which I would definitely take, because the swarmer, you know, they can be really dangerous. They deal a lot of damage and they move really quickly on Haz-7, but with the plasma trail, I wasn't too worried about it. You know, like I wasn't so scared that I was going to run back to my sentry guns until I fell down into here and thought, oh god, I'm going to die. But yeah, I thought I would continue my quest for the secondaries. But yeah, you start getting hit by a few of these swarmers, it's a lot of damage.
Born ready. Ammo taken. Don't wait, Jonathan!
Yeah, plasma trail. Even, you know, bad shots, I was like shooting down rather than across.
Hostiles are backing down.
The plasma trail still doing me proud there. So yeah, if this wave had been like the Mactira actually seemed okay on this map with the smart rifle, but obviously if this is 2 special waves that I've had come in. If this had been, you know, maybe even a grunt swarm, that could have been quite dangerous. Obviously a dreadnought would have been absolutely brutal. But swarmers was okay. Annoying, but okay.
I made a platform. Lock and loaded. Got no flares ready. Access provided.
So this is my little hunt for the bolo caps.
Platform up.
I guess I'll have to, next time I have to do a Haz-7 true solo refinery, I'll have to try and make sure I get all of the special, all of the resources, all of the gold. But I was not going to do that today. I was happy just to go for the primary and the secondary. I really didn't want to try and get one of these caps high up on the wall here. I could just see like a really stupid death just falling off the platform, but I couldn't really see any that looked closer than this. So I just took this really carefully. I was not going to lose my iron will here.
I was born with the hottest potato.
I thought I might as well try and get a little bit more nitro at this point. I thought one more resupply because I think the one by the refinery was running low. I think I can't remember if I managed to get 50 nitro for another resupply. But, you know, whatever the case, it was literally, this wave came in, so it was like, right, I'm going to deal with this wave, and then it's going to be, or this mini wave, whatever it is, and then it's going to be starting the refinery. Yeah, it will be interesting, but maybe I'll have to do this, this seed does seem like it's giving me some advantages to winning this. Maybe I will have to try and see if I can, you know, make the magic happen a second time and do this on another map, which isn't quite so open, maybe.
On a direct intercept course. Get ready.
Yeah, so it wasn't the SWAT. I think it was just because when the wardens spawn, they spawn with like a little, you know, a few enemies. On Haz-7, I think it's like obviously more than on Haz-5. So maybe like 1 or 2 wardens spawn. And it feels like a little mini wave. So I heard the grabber. I heard it got hit. I heard it got hit, and I thought it got hit by the sentry gun on that side. So I started coming back up this hill, and then just walked straight into it. But yeah, this was like, oh well, this is going to be iron will gone.
Let me go.
I think this little pillar helped me.
Help! Die, monsters! Reloading.
Yeah, I really needed a resupply.
What a
Oh, that was the tri-draw is painful. I needed a resupply for the health more than anything, but obviously this grabber needed to go down before I could really do much. So this was panic stations because I was like, please, I want to at least start the refinery.
I was born
No
with.
more beasties incoming. Take care of what is left, then have a breather.
So again, having these resupplies split up, I used my terrain scanner and was like, right, I'm going for this one. And this is where it makes life a little bit easier. This larger map, I can just move, and then I could see the dust storm was coming in, so I was just like, get to this resupply.
Like what you see, eh? Getting more ammo.
Nicely done, team. You secured yourself a nice bonus.
So obviously this is mid-wave dust storm. I knew that I'd kind of kited quite far away and sort of led them around the map a bit, but I knew they were going to be on me any moment. This did not feel nice. Yeah, got my empty sentry turrets.
Potato. Reloading.
So now I felt a little bit more comfortable. I've got a decent amount of ammo, although I'm still low on plasma grenades. But it's also health. I've got my health back up to a comfortable amount, so that at least I can take a few hits. Especially with Red Rock Blaster that I've got.
And loaded.
Nice. Just line up both of the oppressors for the breach cutter.
I was born ready.
Yeah, so I was talking to some people and they were saying that there's like an enemy cap in the base game. So I'm just wondering if, I constantly look up and I can see that there's these weathers and acid spitters quite high up walking around. So I'm wondering if I had a bit of an unfair advantage of the fact that if the enemy is like capped, but a load of those enemies are like on the high walls not doing anything, whether that helped as well. So I think I'm slowly convincing myself that I'm going to have to do another run just to prove that this one wasn't a fluke and just lucky.
Getting supplies.
So here I just double up. So I just go. I'm on full health. I'm on full ammo, and I'm going to start the refinery. And hopefully we're on the end of this. I've got my nitro for another resupply, and I was just having to think of I'll get one over here because I didn't have it. I haven't got a resupply over on this side, and then again just giving me another fallback position.
Be warned, the noise will draw in the locals, so stay on your toes and do what you can to protect and maintain the equipment. Roger that. Supplies are coming. All the noise is pulling in the locals. Take them out before they gnaw up our pipelines.
So my defensive position here is starting to look not quite as nice as before with all of the exploder holes and the bulk detonator. But this was the I got my sentry guns here. It's too late to change now.
Down! Reloading!
Malfunction along the pipeline. Maintenance crew, to work.
Be gone!
Pipeline repaired, but other pipelines are still malfunctioning.
Always a little bit scary staying still. It's so much easier when you've got Bosco and you can just tell him to repair these pipes.
Machinery is running again. Well done. Pump sequence at 50%.
Free from the oppressor!
Swarm? We got another swarm.
I'm taking some of the ammo.
So I think that's now a dead resupply, so wasn't too happy about that one, but I knew I've got a load spread out.
Think you can kill me? Well, think again. Reloading.
So this, I was really being careful to look at how much the refinery was full, so I could see that this was going to be after the next repair. That's when the button was going to be pressed. And as one of my first mistakes when I did Haz-7 Refinery, when I was still using Bosco at this point, and it was literally like my third attempt, I managed to complete the map, but I couldn't press the button. I've got it in one of my videos. I think it's the first Haz-7 solo refinery one that I've got, and I've got like a failed attempt at the end that I tack on to the victory. And I completed the map, refined all of the Morkite, but I just couldn't press the button because just waves and waves and waves and waves kept coming in, and then eventually I died. So I really had that in my mind on this one, that as soon as I was going to repair this pipeline, I needed to get to the button and be ready to press it as soon as I could call in the drop pod. But even then, it was it wasn't looking great. And this is why I decide, because I took a bit of damage before repairing that other pipe, I come over here, get up to full health, because there was no way that I was going to repair the pipeline and not be on as close to full health as possible. Learning from my past fails on Haz-7. So this was it, and I was just like, right, I'm going straight there, just praying that I could press the button, that it would refine, and I could press the button before I got swamped.
Brace yourselves. There's a big group of incoming enemies. The pumps are working as fast as they can. Keep it up.
I swear they just seem to they just teleport onto this refinery at this point on Haz-7. I was just having I was having like PTSD of this not being able to press the button.
All systems are go. Just press the launch
Oh
button.
god, I was panicking here. I think I just had in my mind, I was like, you've come this far, you're not losing this. And I had iron will, so I was like, if I die pressing the button, and then here I was just like, I just gotta survive.
I'm taking some of the ammo. Feel much better now.
So this is it. Obviously, I make it to the drop pod. Whether I got lucky with the map, lucky with the unique swarms, like I got the Bacteria was pretty okay to deal with, and the Swarmers was okay to deal with. Whether there was all of these weathers spawned on the wall and made it a little bit easier, that the swarms were a bit easier. Whatever the case, I'm still taking this one as a victory. I will at some point, I think I'm going to take it easy on the Haz-7 for a little while, but I think at some point I will try and get a second one in the bag, a second Haz-7 solo refinery, true solo refinery, just so that I can cement the fact that, maybe lightning didn't strike twice. Both of them weren't as lucky as this one, but I'm going to take this one for now. This is Haz-7 true solo refinery completed, and I was pretty damn happy with this one.
For rock and go! Reloading. Rock on!
So I have a quick look at the stats. I thought it was going to be more kills, but it's about normal really. It's more like a average elite deep dive with the kills, but 0 deaths. I didn't even use the iron will. Managed to keep going and do this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, stay tuned for my next Haz-7 videos or any other videos I do.